Greetings and praise the Lord. Welcome to our daily devotion. Today's devotion is on excuses, and that is going to be episode 1. And we are going to look at the life of Moses. Well, just something little about Moses, because we have so many chapters talking about sharing about Moses. I just want to ask you a question. Have you ever, or in one time, given excuses? Excuses maybe to your family, to your boss, and even to God. Or you've given excuse in your church or even ministry. Well, let's have a look at Moses in Exodus chapter 4, verses 11. Actually, the entire from the beginning to verse 12, you know that is when Moses had already had an encounter with God, and God was sending him to go and deliver the children of Israel from bondage, knowing very well that Moses had already run away from Egypt, where he was once a prince, and now, because of what he had done in killing, he ran away. And as he ran away, he got into the land where the Lord wanted them to. When he goes back to deliver the children of Israel, he'll be able to pass through that place and come to where he had an encounter with God. And so, here at the encounter, because this is our year of encounter, and it's not just encounters, it's gonna be year of great encounters. And this is what happens when we have an encounter with God. God will always give you an assignment. At the place of encounter, that is where the assignment is. And when God gives you this special assignment, it is not an assignment that you have done in the past. It is not an assignment that you are used to. It is a brand new assignment that you yourself, you will know it is God, because you are not able to do this assignment by yourself, because it is a large assignment. And therefore, now when Moses was told by God that God is going to send him into the land of Egypt to go and deliver the children of Israel, he did not want to imagine facing Pharaoh, the one he ran from, running away after knowing that Pharaoh has already known the truth that he was an Israelite, while he lived at the king's palace as an Egyptian. Now here he is, he's an enemy. He was capable of doing some things in Egypt which Egypt did not even want to imagine can happen. This time God tells him he's gonna send him, and he makes excuses. One, he asks God, what if they don't believe? What if Pharaoh doesn't believe when I approach him to release the children of Israel? And God gave him signs by turning his rod into a snake and turning it back again into a rod, and even making having his hand leprous and healing that hand, and telling him that even when he goes and Pharaoh still does not believe in those miracles, then he can also turn with the water into blood. So therefore, when Moses realized that, you know what, there's no way I can escape this, he told God, listen, I cannot speak clearly. I am a stammerer. And God now asks him this question in Exodus 4, verses 11 to 12. So the Lord said to Moses, who has made man's mouth? Or who makes the mute, the deaf, the seeing, or the blind? Have not I the Lord? No, therefore. Now, therefore, go, and I will be with your mouth and teach you what you shall say. Well, we don't speak because of our own power or our own strength, but we speak because God enables us to speak. We don't see what we see because we are capable of doing it, or even hear because we are okay. It is because of the Lord. Those ears, the eyes can shut. And now, even when we talk about the spiritual eyes, the spiritual ears, and the spiritual mouth or speech, then you've got to know that God is the one who allows you to do all these things for His glory. And now he's been given that assignment. It's a difficult assignment, but we want to thank God because even at this difficult assignment, the Lord is able to do great things to Moses. So, well, when God calls us to do something, then you know what? One of the things He's going to do is to equip us for success. You're going to succeed in whatever God calls you to do, you have to be successful. Even if Moses wondered that when God called him to go to Egypt and lead the Hebrews from bondage, Moses raised forth, you heard the objections that he gave to God and the answer that God has given him. Now, I'll ask you to read that chapter again, and if possible, even the previous one. And when God gave him that final one, that is the final answer, that I can make the mute speak, so I will keep you to speak to Pharaoh. Moses went and succeeded because God enabled him. So don't allow those excuses to hinder you from getting into what God has called you to do, or even your doubt, because we give excuses because we are doubting God. So at this time, the Lord was able to enable him. And as he was enabled, let me tell you, even as before we even go back to Egypt or all that, after he went all the way, almost getting into the promised land, even if he was not able to get into the promised land, but the children of Israel who entered through the promised land with Joshua, Joshua was told these things in Joshua chapter 1, verses 1 to 5, so that you know the mission that Moses was given was successful. And you know what? God can give you a mission not because of you, that so that you can be seen in that mission that you are the one leading and succeeding. No, God has an assignment for a particular season in a particular period. And when you do your assignment, there is somebody who's going to take the baton and move on, because you know what? God sometimes might talk about something that needs to be accomplished and start, and you are probably the first one to begin, or not even the first one. Maybe there were others who were there to begin, and they began. And when they began all those, the journey, when you look at even Abraham, because Abraham he himself had gone to Egypt, and got out of Egypt with a lot of wealth. And so even the children of Israel who had gone there in bondage, they had gone there in bondage, then they are also going to get out of Egypt. They got out of Egypt in great wealth. And as they got into the promised land, this is what Joshua told him. That is when he was installed as a leader. After the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' aide, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all these people get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I'm about to give to them, to the Israelites. I will give you every place where you set your foot as I promised Moses. Your territory will extend from the desert to Lebanon, and from the great river, the Euphrates, all the Hittite country, to the Mediterranean Sea in the west. No one will be able to stand against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. So God will maybe start with you, but he knows whom he's going to use to complete. Joshua never doubted. And so Joshua was able to get into the promised land with the people, and God kept on assuring him. Even when God has called you and taken you to a level where he wants you to complete that assignment, you maybe the entire assignment is not complete, but he will have people in different stages to take that whatever God has given to somebody as an assignment to be taken from one person to the next, to the next. Don't hold on to the assignment that God has given you. If he has given it to you, to release it and hand it over to the next person, hand it over smoothly and let go so that the mission can continue. I thank God for the great things that he's doing in the ministry, the mighty things he's about to do and even continue doing. God bless you as you purpose to hear the voice of God as he's calling you for that great assignment. And when he gives you that assignment, take it and run And as you complete your part, let the next person take over and continue. And it will be a joy to see that person doing it, not waiting until you are normal. You need to be here to see your successor succeeding. God bless you for now. This is Bishop Dr. Grace Kariuki of Amazing Grace International Ministries, the mother to the amazing champions and the mother to the CMCs. Log into our website at www.agracem.org and partner with us so that you also see what we really do, what we mean by the amazing champions and the CMC. You log into our Facebook and YouTube, Bishop Dr. Grace Kariuki, like, subscribe, and share. And at the same time, let's hear your comment about those excuses you gave and even how you are able to overcome it and how you are able to get out of those doubts and move on into the next level. Be blessed as you see the Lord taking you from one glory to the other. Shalom. Shalom.